When Cherry Blossoms Whisper. Side Story Volume, Whispers Beyond the Blossoms. Chapter 3, Yui's Unlocked Heart, the letter she never sent. The old student council room hadn't changed much. Same dusty trophies lined the shelves, same flickering overhead lights. Even the faint scent of old chalk and over-brewed coffee lingered like time had stalled between the cluttered desks. Yui Nakamura stood alone at the doorway, her reflection caught in the glass. Her white blouse was crisp, her skirt ironed perfectly, the image of control. But her hands were trembling. She wasn't here to plan an event, control a room, or orchestrate another flawless school festival. She was here for the reunion, for something much harder. Reckoning. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. Her heels clicked softly against the floor, echoing like the past itself. Years ago, she would have commanded attention the second she walked in. She knew how to weaponize silence, how to win people over with perfectly timed kindness and subtle pressure. But today, she wasn't Yui the president. She was Yui, the daughter of two people who hadn't looked each other in the eye since her 10th birthday. A knock on the open door pulled her back. "Still pretending to be scary?" said a familiar voice. Kaido leaned in, grinning, slightly older but no less chaotic. A misbuttoned collar, ramen stains on his sleeves. She gave him a look. Still pretending to be civilized? They shared a laugh, one that felt warm instead of sharp. For a moment it was just like high school again, but lighter. "You sure about this?" Kaido asked, his voice dropping. "No," Yui admitted. "But I'm tired of pretending I don't care." He gave her shoulder a reassuring squeeze. "You care too much. That's your real problem." The room began to fill familiar faces, Haruto and Sakura, Rin, Momo, even Ms. Hara, who winked at her while sipping tea. But Yui's eyes scanned the crowd for two specific people. Her father stood near the window, awkward in a suit that didn't fit quite right. Her mother arrived last, late as always, clutching a small purse and a folded piece of paper. They hadn't spoken since Yui moved out for university. There was a moment, brief and weightless, where Yui considered turning around and walking out. But then Haruto handed her a mic, Sakura nodded subtly, and Rin whispered, "You've come too far not to speak." Yui stepped forward. "Some of you know me as the scary council president who once color-coded our entire school festival," she began, earning a few chuckles. "But today, I just want to be Yui. No titles. No perfection." Her voice wavered. "I used to think control meant strength. That if I organized everything, I'd never be forgotten. But I forgot something important. People don't stay because you impress them. They stay because you let them in." Her eyes drifted to her mother, who looked down at her hands. And to her father, whose shoulders slumped like guilt was finally catching up. "Years ago, I found a letter in a drawer," Yui continued, softer now. "From my mother. She wrote that she was sorry. For not seeing me. For loving me only when I got things right." Her mother looked up sharply. "I hated you for that," Yui said, voice breaking. "But I hated myself more for still wanting your approval." The silence was suffocating. Then her mother stood. "I wrote that letter the day your father left," she said, her voice barely holding. "But I never sent it. I was scared. Just like you." Yui blinked. "Scared of what?" "Of failing again," her mother whispered. "Of letting you down more than I already had." Something inside Yui cracked, not painfully, but like a frozen surface finally thawing. Her father stepped forward too. "We never stopped loving you, Yui. We just didn't know how to be a family anymore." Yui's chest felt too tight for words. Then Kaido, bless him, broke the tension by yelling, "Okay, hug or cry it out," but someone passed the tissues. Laughter broke the silence. And just like that, the room softened. Her mother reached out. Tentative. Shaky. Yui stepped into the embrace. A moment that had been missing for over a decade mended in a breath. Later, after everyone had left, Yui sat alone by the window watching the cherry trees sway in the breeze. Kaido dropped beside her with 2 cans of coffee. "So," he said, cracking one open. "Miss Not So Scary anymore. What's next?" Yui smiled faintly. "I'm thinking of starting a mentorship program. For students who feel alone. Like I did." He nudged her. "You're soft now. It's adorable." "Shut up." But her smile stayed. In the months that followed, Yui traded her council speeches for handwritten letters. She visited lonely first years, left notes of encouragement in lockers, and organized quiet lunches for kids who hated crowds. Her sharp edges didn't vanish, they just found a new shape. And once, while walking past the old council room, she paused. There, on the bulletin board, someone had pinned a small note. "Thank you, Yui-senpai. You saw me when no one else did." She touched the paper lightly, a tear slipping down her cheek before she laughed at herself. and whispered, "You're welcome. Thanks for watching our video. If you find this video interesting, then please subscribe our YouTube channel. If you're watching this video from TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram, then follow our page for more contents like this.